Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I thought we'd get on and have a bit more of a play with the altered book that we're making using the butterfly house kit that you know, recently kind of introduced. So since my last video, I've got on and glued a few things down into the book. So I've glued this pocket down here, I've glued this pocket down here, and then this one I was waiting for the string to dry, but we're going to then glue that one down here. And then I glued this one in here, and as you can see, I then kind of got started decorating the page to kind of you know, see or get a feel for where the journal is kind of going. So love this kind of page, how it's turned out. Just think it looks really pretty. So that's kind of that one. So the next one, you know, as I say, I don't always do them kind of in order, so I may kind of do this one now, because, you know, I'm definitely sure that I want this one on this page. So I'm just going to kind of hold the page down, you know, weigh it down with my scissors for a moment, and I might just pop a punch on that one, just so as it kind of holds open whilst I'm kind of laying things out. So on the kind of facing page, I might kind of pop something onto the facing page to kind of tie it in. I've got these beautiful blue laces, obviously, that we kind of used previously. Let me just pull them in as well. So the blue obviously kind of is really nice because it ties in the blue from the other page. So I may kind of incorporate a bit of blue lace or something down the edge. And then obviously there's loads of different fussy cut elements to the kit. So we could pop anything down really from the rest of the kit. Got all different kind of pieces here. Could have something up the top. And the reason I say that is because I'm always inclined to kind of glue things at the bottom. So it might be kind of nice to actually mix it up a little bit. Got this one says enjoy. We could kind of pop that maybe there, something like that. Obviously we've got more butterflies that we fussy cut out, so we could kind of incorporate something like that. So I think kind of that's the type of thing I'm going to go for. I've also got these gorgeous paper flowers. Aren't they just a brilliant match for these paints? Just, oh, go just beautifully, don't they? So, you know, we could incorporate a flower or two. I'm just checking that it's not doubled up, because sometimes they're kind of doubled in thickness, you know, which is kind of nice because you're getting two for the price of one. I'm just going to tear this doily just in case we want any kind of doily piece or anything like that. That looks quite pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, I think we'll go for a piece of doily. I've got the window open up here because it's a little bit hot. You'll have to just excuse that noise outside. I'm not quite sure what that is, but it sounds like a kind of road cleaner or sweeper or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. And obviously I can't see from where I am, but sounded incredibly noisy anyway, so hopefully that's not going to kind of go on for the duration of doing the video. That would be really annoying. So I'll just press that down like that. Oops. And then this one is the Matchbox book, so I'll probably just kind of glue it on two sides there. So I might just trim it at the bottom because it's got that little tiny edge of white, which we'll just get rid of like that. And then we're just going to glue it down just like that. Hope everyone's having a good day, as I kind of often say. Hope you're all managing to get a bit of crafting in somewhere. Always makes every day better, doesn't it, to have a little bit of crafting time. So that one we've stuck down there. So on the facing page, kind of maybe a bit of the blue lace. The only thing is my lace all seems to be on this side of the book. So I'm just going to see whether I could kind of incorporate anything on this page, which obviously I've now glued it down. I should have really kind of spotted that before I glued it, but never mind. I mean, actually I could probably squeeze that blue on there, and then I don't know whether on the facing page I've bought some ruffles along as well that I thought were kind of in really pretty coordinating kind of colours. So I've got this one here. The only thing is I'm not feeling that that's kind of tying the blue in properly. Got this one here, which again, it's got no sign of blue, but it maybe would be okay anyway. And then if we were going to have this kind of up here, I wonder whether that would be tying the blue in enough. Probably would have been better, to be fair, the other way round. If I'd have thought, I would have obviously had that moved over, and then I could have fitted that ruffle down the edge of there. Might have been a bit better. This ruffle is very thready, so I have to kind of excuse it. Well, I could do it kind of like that, to be fair. So if I just roughly see, I'm going to cut it, I think actually I'm better off cutting it here. Cut it about here. Get rid of some of those really massively long threads. Just kind of have that glued down there, I think. So going at a bit of a curve, hopefully. Okay. So that looks pretty. And then we can pop this lace over here. Nice, unless we just had the lace kind of attached there. Whoops. Let's see. Could do that. Thing is, I do really like it going right down the full length, so I might just have to, you know, not mind that I've done that on a few pages now, because it just looks really striking. You know, this blue looks so striking against that vibrant paint that it's really nice to just kind of use it. Okay. Just cut that there. Then we're going to kind of put, you could have this even like halfway kind of. I think we're going to have it up the top because I don't normally do that, and there's something kind of quite nice about it at the top. And I might just glue it in kind of a little bit because you know, it may be that this would be able to work as some sort of tuck. I'm not sure whether it would, but we'll just try it like that. And plus it gives a bit of texture if it's not kind of glued completely flat to the page, so that's really nice. And then we could have either a butterfly there, or we could have one of the flowers. I don't know how many of those flowers I've actually got, so I don't want to kind of use them all up and then find I actually haven't got any for the rest of the journal. So I'll have to kind of eke them out a little bit. Oops. And that's that, and then we'll just have that butterfly kind of here. Okay, just pop that down like that. Okay, really pretty. So that page, you know, pretty much complete. I don't think it really needs anything else. I've got some bows. We could kind of add some bows or something. I don't think it really needs anything else. Do we want any bling? Because, you know, it maybe won't feel quite the same without some bling. Now, where is my bling? Here. Let's just have a look. The bling kind of adds a different dimension to it. I don't know whether you guys think that, but I do always just love the bling, to be honest. I like it on the butterfly or I like it on the lace. Not sure where I like it best. Maybe on the butterfly, actually. So I might just... Oh, come on. Very much fingers and thumbs today. So there we go. Oops. Okay. That looks really pretty. And then, you know, could always do some stamping or something around the page if you know, if you kind of wanted to. But I have ordered a new blue StazOn, so I'm hoping that might arrive before I've obviously completed this journal. I mean, it should do, unless their shipping's very slow. I think it said between 3 and 5 days. So, you know, hopefully it will arrive. But sometimes you kind of order these things and then suddenly 3 days later, when you're expecting it to arrive, you then get a message saying it's out of stock or something like that. It's from somebody I haven't ordered from before. So, you know, I don't know what it will be like. But. And then this is just one of the scraps of one of the background pages, which I obviously used some here. I just thought it looks really quite pretty, kind of torn down, you know, and popped onto one of the pages. Now this is one of those bits where I kind of had that like rucking in the paper, where it obviously got very saturated with the glue. The glue was very, very, very wet. But I don't think I'm going to be able to cover it up at this point, kind of, you know, because this is very near to the crease. So if I were to glue anything there, I think it would kind of, you know, interfere with the movement of the page, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to kind of, oops, I'm not going to kind of attempt to do that, I think. You know, it will just be kind of known that there is that little bit of a kind of flaw there. Now, this envelope here, we could have a bit of lace on there or something. Just have a look. Also thought it would be nice to kind of have something popped on here on that lace, because the lace is kind of stitched on, but it's obviously not stitched on all around, you know, it's kind of loose here. So I thought something would be nice to kind of pop on just in the corner there, kind of maybe like over the lace, but just holding the lace down a little bit. So maybe something like that. And then just want to decide whether we want to actually kind of just paper clip this on, or whether to actually kind of glue it in. We could glue it in kind of as a pocket, which I think would be quite nice. And then I've actually got this dark ruffle, which maybe would go really nicely. Or obviously I've got that patterned one. This patterned one's gorgeous, isn't it? I love this fabric. And I think we'll definitely be able to use it somewhere in this journal, even if not here. Let's just have a look. Oops. Maybe that piece of paper doesn't really kind of go there. So I quite like that. And then that's really nice, isn't it? Just going to glue this down here. Okay. I can hear my son. He's out in the garden. He's doing his GCSEs at the moment, and he's off today because he hasn't got any exams. And even though he'd opted to not have study leave, it appears that actually they don't seem to go in when they're not doing exams anyway, so I'm not quite sure what that was about. But anyway, so he's in the garden. He's digging up a plant that kind of, you know, is in the wrong place really, and it's got kind of a bit unruly, so he's digging that up, and I can hear him. He's listening obviously to the radio or his music or whatever, but he's listening to that song My Girl. I love that song. It's such a lovely kind of happy song, isn't it? I don't know whether you guys can hear it, but yeah, it just kind of makes you feel nice when you listen to that, doesn't it? Right. Oh, I might do something like this, I think. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down, and I'm going to glue it as a pocket. So I'm going to glue it kind of here on 3 sides. Okay. Just press that down. Excuse me. And then I'm going to have this ruffle just here. Actually, I hadn't realised that this is actually a single page. This was one of the pages that I kind of left blank for journaling. So I'm not so sure as I want to have a ruffle on there because it's quite thick. I don't know whether it would be a little bit kind of damaging to the page. And also, I had left the page kind of plain for journaling, and the ruffle obviously, you know, would make it then quite lumpy. So I might not put the ruffle down. I might just have the flower here. So I'll just pop that down instead, I think. And I mean, obviously you can always change our mind kind of, you know, when the journal's finished and, you know, I look back through, I can always kind of change my mind and add it then. Because I mean, sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of go back through afterwards and then I might think, oh, that page looks a bit plain, or, you know, that one needs a ruffle or some lace or something like that. So, you know, it may be that that will be what happens then. So I'm just going to take this journaling card and just pop it in just here in that pocket. And then we could add something down here. Don't think we really need to, but just kind of, if you wanted, you could. I mean, maybe just a bit of fabric ruffle again down the bottom. Oh, I should have cut some of these threads off. They're very, very thready, which actually kind of sometimes then ends up getting in the way a bit, doesn't it? So, well, I quite like it like that, to be honest. I'm quite liking the the dark green now. I don't know about you guys, but obviously it was a little bit unexpected at first, and you know, I was a little bit worried that I was going to regret. I might have 2 flowers here. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Oh, decisions, right. Oops. Okay. Come on. That looks really pretty. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that green at first, and I thought, oh my gosh, what have I done? Because it was very, very, very kind of dark, and yeah, I was a little bit horrified. But I'm used to it now, and actually I do really like it. So now my only issue here is that we've suddenly got lots of that ruffle. Well, I can put some ruffle kind of in the other pages to kind of spread it out, so I think that's going to be fine. Yeah, when I first kind of painted it, I thought, oh my gosh, what have I done? What have I done? Just looked really awful, and I thought, well, I'm not sure there's any coming back from that, because it was obviously very dark. But actually, I'm really liking it now, because I've toned it down obviously by mixing it with the kind of other colours. So I mixed it with a paler kind of aqua colour, and also with a kind of sand type colour. And just by doing that, it's toned it down slightly. But also, you know, even that being kind of aside, I am actually really growing to just really love that kind of deep, deep, deep shade. I don't know really what you'd call it. I can't remember what colour they called it on the tube. I shall have to have a look and let you all know. Right, so that's that page. So going over again. So we've got this piece. Now, I'm thinking really I would like to stick something on this side, because obviously I feel that everything's on this side. But obviously I'm aware that the lace trim is down the edge, which, I mean, I could have it here, but to me that looks off. It looks like it should be on that side instead with the lace trim. So I'm just going to have a look and see whether we might have something else on this page instead. So obviously I've got this belly band piece that we could kind of have here, and this is that page that's quite badly you know, damaged from that kind of really waterlogged glue, or not waterlogged, sorry, the melted kind of glue. So if we had this as a kind of belly band, it would overcome that kind of issue, because obviously that would be glued over that. My only issue is I'm not quite sure whether I like this pattern against this green colour. So I'm just going to kind of have a bit of a play round and see whether I can, you know, somehow kind of make that work so that it feels a little bit kind of better, you know, pleasing to the eye. So, and even though I've just that second been saying, oh, I quite like that colour now. I do quite like that colour, but not necessarily against this particular pattern. But having said that, even just toning it down with the blue, it straight away looks kind of more palatable. So, you know, I'm straight away kind of not really minding it so much. And I think then if we just popped something of that colour onto here, it kind of straight away ties it in again anyway. So let's just have a look and see what we could have on the facing page. Whether we could have this ruffle down there. Oops. I might just have to kind of hold this down a bit with my scissors. I think actually what we should do is probably have the blue, which then ties the blue and the green in together. I think that looks better. I've got these flowers that we could kind of have somewhere. I have got this torn piece that I'm obviously wanting to use somewhere. We could kind of have that like that. We could have that there. Well, that's quite nice, isn't it? Right, again, I'm just trying to kind of make decisions and not be really kind of tedious to watch. So I think I was so horrified by my collage kind of, you know, what turned out to be a series. I couldn't believe how long everything was taking me in that video and how frustrating it must have been. So I'm trying to kind of be a lot better at not kind of overthinking things, so that that's not happening again. So that looks nice now. I'm going to glue the blue down the edge here. Like that. Okay, so I quite like how that's looking. And then I did just then spot butterflies, these, right. So I just kind of chucked those into the equation here, just in case we want to have anything from those bits and bobs kind of on here. So if we had that ruffle there, got obviously this blue butterfly. Now, did we prefer the blue or the green? I think the blue probably. I mean, to be honest, actually they both look quite nice, you know, together, which I never would have thought to have put them both together, but now they kind of have fallen there, they actually look quite nice together. Just want to see how it looks without that. No, I like it with the torn piece of paper, so that's good. We can use that, so just kind of tear that, or glue that, sorry, down. Like that. And then I'm going to just stick this ruffle down here. Might have it going that way actually. Just trim the end of it. Okay. Trim this piece here. So I like how that looks now. Now, do we want to have both of these, or is that strange? I mean, I never would have put both, but weirdly I do think both look quite nice. I'm going to have a kind of green flower there to kind of just bring the green over the page, or maybe down there. Oh, to be honest, it probably doesn't really need them both, do you think? I just thought the green was pulling in the green from the other side. Perhaps we'll have the green. I mean, again, we've got kind of plenty of items to play with, and, you know, can always print more. So there's no need to be stingy. There we go. Need to pick that piece of glue off of the end of my glue. Can you see that? It's very annoying. I'll just pick that off in a moment. Okay, let's take that off. So that looks really nice now. And then we could just have kind of butterfly somewhere, and I want to have this flower somewhere. So the flower, just need to kind of check how we want to have the flower. Might have to put this piece of lace down here, so just kind of trim that down. That just finishes that bottom bit off a bit better. Like that. Okay. And I might put that butterfly down like that. And then just deciding now where to have this big flower. I mean, my only reservation probably about putting it on the kind of flap, really, although I do really like it there. I just wonder whether it might get quite crushed from the pages, because this is kind of flappy. So it would be a safer spot to have it down here, I think. You know, kind of preservation of the flower. So we'll just pop that down there, I think. And I might or might not put something in the middle of that. I haven't quite decided yet. So I'll just kind of leave it at the moment while I think. So I'm just having a look at the time. We're up to 30 minutes now. So I will probably call it quits, I think, because I'm aware that sometimes my videos are also very, very, very long. So I'm trying to kind of experiment and mix it up a little bit and kind of see what goes down best. So I'm going to kind of leave it there for today. And hopefully we'll kind of manage to come back and have another play another time. So okay then, I hope that you all kind of liked the couple of pages that we've managed to do so far. And hopefully you'll join me next time for another craft with me in this altered book. Thanks then, and hope you all have a great day. Thanks very much. Bye.